got to speak life over my own self. I mean, you can't always look for somebody else to uplift you. Sometimes you got to uplift yourself and speak life over your own self. And step two in that self love journey was boosting my self esteem because my self esteem was depleted. If it existed at all, it was extremely low. And I don't know how many of y'all remember Maslow's theory from back in the school days. Maslow's theory states that humans have 5 different categories of needs. And those are physiological, safety needs, love and belonging, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. Those are the 5 needs of humans. And of those 5, one of the big ones I was lacking was the esteem needs. And according to Maslow's law, the esteem needs are part of the higher needs. So these are at the top of the hierarchy. And mine was depleted. So imagine my life as a human, like living here on earth, when my esteem needs were depleted. That's one of the reasons why I was depressed. And Maslow says that the 2 key factors in esteem for the esteem needs, the 2 key characteristics, is self-respect and self-esteem. So let me define those for you. And these definitions are based off Maslow's law. So Maslow says that self-respect is the belief that you are valuable and deserving of dignity. Now, after all those negative words that were spoken over me, and I believe them, I'll admit that I believe them. You know, so many times that you can get beat up and put down before it just soaks in. Like you spiral out of control. So I believe those words. So I ain't believe I was valuable. So of course I ain't had no self-respect. And now I'm sitting here talking about it and thinking about some of the things that I allowed in relationships, past relationships, friendships, or whatever, back then when my self-esteem was low. You could definitely tell I didn't have any self-respect. I didn't hold myself at high regards when it came to my valuability. Dignity, that's why I'm questionable about. I definitely didn't know my value, didn't know my worth, didn't see myself as valuable. And I just feel like then I was too weak to even have dignity. I was too beat up to have dignity. So that's how I felt when it came to the self-respect. So Maslow believed that esteem was broken down into 2 separate distinctions. It was the esteem based on the acknowledgement and respect from others, and the esteem on your beliefs and your self-assessment of yourself. Like just reading that definition, saying that definition, I'm just like, oh, well, you know, all those past years, the past hurt, it makes so much sense now. From others, like there was no respect from others. The acknowledgement from others in the past was not positive. Like that was all negative. So there's no wonder that my esteem was shot. And I feel like that first esteem needs plays on the second esteem need. Like, how am I supposed to have a positive self reflection of myself when as others don't hold me in high regard, don't have any respect for me, and their acknowledgement of me is through teasing and bullying and hateful words? So there's no, I mean, like you would just have to be, I guess, a very resilient person to have all that thrown at you and still think of yourself in high regards. I was not that girl. I was not that person. Like, I was beat up. I was beat down. The esteem was gone. So what I had to do to lift my esteem was what was in my control. I had been isolated for years, so I was going to say I couldn't really think of how others thought of me, but I could. And that's what my therapist helped me realize. Stop thinking about what those people in the past have said about you. Think about those now. In 2019, when I was going to her, like I was just entering the workforce, and work and school, well, school first, then work. That has always been something I excelled at, something I achieved at. I was always a A, B honor roll student. My teachers always spoke highly of me and held me in that high regard because I was well mannered and well behaved and smart. So these are the things when I was sitting down with my therapist. She was like, why are you not replaying those things to yourself? Why are you not telling yourself those things? Because this is you. This is how people see you. And I feel like I won't tell myself that because, the teachers, they older. This is not my peers. I'm talking about my peers. I feel like, my peers didn't hold me in high regards. But, during the sessions, that's when she was like, just stop replaying the negative, no matter who it came from. Because, some negative also came from your family as well. And just replay the positive until we challenge that, what I feel about my peers and my peers not holding me in a high regard. So she was like, what does, your family think about you? And at that time, I was like, your family supposed to love you. Your mom and dad are supposed to love you. Little did I know, people growing up in homes where their parents who gave birth to them, who brought them into this world, hate them and let them know that every day. So therapy was a very eye-opening experience for me, and it humbled me, and it allowed me to be thankful for that. So through replaying the positive that was said about me and how, I was doing a great job at work, and all my coworkers and supervisors and stuff held me in high regard and had the utmost respect for me. Replaying all that, my self-esteem was slowly, gathering up there. But I still had to work on my self-acceptance. I had to be receiving of that and not be like, oh, they don't really think like that. Oh, that's not how they really feel. I had to be receiving of that. And I had to speak life over my own self. I mean, you can't always look for somebody else to uplift you. Sometimes you got to uplift yourself and speak life over your own self. So my therapist introduced me to the positive or body positive affirmations. I was aware of positive affirmations, I am this, I am, I was aware of that, but I was not aware of the body positive ones. Like I never thought to say good positive things about my body. So one of the key exercises that really helped me look at my body in a positive light is being thankful for what my body allows me to do. And I know that sounds so, I guess, little, but how many times do we sit and think about that every day? Like, you know how many neurons it takes for your hands to do this, like in your brain? How some people cannot move their fingers. I have two legs, 2 feet. I'm able to move. They're able to move me. Like my motor skills are there. Instead of thinking about my body in a negative way, be thankful for what your body allows you to do, what you can do in your body, instead of dwelling so much on what you can't do. So that doing that daily and every day and keeping a jar of thank yous, what I'm thankful for, that helped shift my mindset. That helped me stop focusing on the negative and focusing on the positive by being thankful. That particular activity was really humbling for me. And another key activity that helped with my self-esteem was journaling. Doing different journaling prompts in my beautiful U book is a journey or journal for radical self-love, and just discovering that radical self-love and doing the different prompts, all that helped me, and it continues to help me on my journey to self-love. Because as I said, this is an everyday continuous journey. Like, it's not one day, oh yeah, I love myself and it's good, and all the other days it's sunshines and rainbows. It's a continuous journey. So I have to continue replenishing, I call it my soul, replenishing my self-esteem by doing these prompts or going back and reading over the journal entries I have done and just being thankful for what my body allows me to do, and just starting my day every day with positive affirmations. Because if you get up and you choose to be positive about whatever situation, no one can shift that. No one can change that because you choose to be positive. There were so many years where I just got up and I was just like in gloom, in negative gloom. And now through therapy, I can get up and choose positivity and be positive and uplift myself. And instead of replaying those negative words, speak light over myself, hold my own self in high regard, and acknowledge those that hold me in high regard as well, and replay the positive words over my life. And we're also talking about self-respect and how others hold you in high regards. The main person, the main spirit that was lost in all this bullying and stuff was the Lord. The Lord has always held me in high regard because I am his child. The Lord says that I am created in his image. And God, he does not make any mistakes. So if I'm created in his image, then there's nothing wrong with me. I'm held in high regard from where he stands. So I feel like that's something that I lost along that journey, um, with others picking on me. I lost I lost my faith. I lost what the Lord said. And from my regard, I think it's not more so lost as I did not know. Because although I'm spiritual now, when I was younger, you know, I kind of grew up in church when I was younger, but once high school came along, I wasn't really in church. And now looking back, I feel like if I was in church, actively back then, that I know probably definitely would have helped with the depression and how I felt. But I was going through the world kind of by myself, trying to navigate it by myself. And once I became an adult and developed a relationship with the Lord that I truly wanted to develop, because I wanted to develop it, not because mom and daddy said it's Sunday, I live in their house and that I got to go to church, but because I wanted to get to know the Lord for myself. And once I discovered what he says about me and how he loves me and how this is only the flesh, that also helped me to not focus so much on looking different, but on my spirit and on my soul. And I feel like that also shows in how others hold me in high regards. Like a lot of the things that were said is, she's so respectful, she's so well mannered. That's just like a part of my personality. That's how I carry myself. That's how I am. And that's not a physical characteristic or physical trait. That's a part of my personality. And I feel like the personality is like your soul speaking. So once I realized that and really spoke his words, the Lord's words over me daily, and what he says about me, my self-esteem truly, truly turned around. Then my faith combined with therapy, combined with healing, all that is just key in my self-love journey and to continue down this road.